Hello, special guests.
Hello!
Hello! Yay! Thank you so much for joining us. Everybody, please give a very warm welcome to Natalia Martinsson, CEO, Creative Director, and the voice of Little Misfortune, and Henrik Norman, who plays Mr. Voice.
Yeah. You can check them out. Also, I'm just going to mention !Misfortune and !Mr. Voice in the chat is a great way to stay in touch with these awesome people on their social media. If you'd like to reach out to them, hire them, shower them with compliments. we want to start the stream off by showering you with compliments. We loved your
Bring
game.
it on.
We had a ton of fun playing this game. We couldn't decide who was more amazing, Mr. Voice or Misfortune themselves.
I mean, truly, you, hats off to you. I'm so inspired by the both of you, and this game, I think, was such a perfect mix of macabre and spooky and cute and funny, and I think that's a very a tricky balance to find, but you did it so perfectly. So I would love to know, Natalia, what inspired you to make Little Misfortune?
That's a big question. What are you talking about? It's like we have like 2 hours of lecture here, but it's life itself. People around one, everybody has something to give. So it's like I get really inspired by everybody. And but the first thing that inspired Little Misfortune was when we moved with my husband to a tiny town where I'm here now. And we used to, check out on the window every night because we were like feeling so, oh, no signal?
Oh,
Did the signal died?
No, you're okay.
Internet. Yes. Do you hear something that what I say?
Yeah, we got you.
About the fox? Yes. Oh, no, the fox. No. Okay, I haven't got that. So we were looking at the window every night when we were living in this house for the first week or so. And we were seeing like a fox going outside our window, like every time at 10 o'clock, something like that. And we started to, play around with Isaac, my husband, that we started Killmonday games together. And then the story kind of started to evolve, and we're just like playing. And then Isaac wanted to do like, but you're yourself a little bit of character, like a little lady. So we wanted to mix those two things and also kind of talk about our backgrounds when we were children and how dark some stuff were, but just talk about it openly without being afraid or, taboos or anything. We just wanted to everything out. We're just humans, and we really wanted to just celebrate that is sometimes sad, sometimes happy, sometimes very, very dark. So yeah, that's kind of the inspiration of Little Misfortune. Yeah. Okay, now I'm shy.
You're doing great, Little Misfortune.
You're
doing
so
great.
Good, so sparkly.
Just sparkles,
You know this?
Puppy!
No.
Oh my gosh! Well, that is a very
little doggy.
Very inspiring story to pull from what you know, and I think that was one of the reasons why your game is so moving and effective, is because it's rooted in so much truth.
Yes.
Yes.
It's like those things that maybe hurt ourselves when we were children or made us uncomfortable when we were growing up or becoming, teenagers, or that change in life. It's like, oh my God, I'm playing now, and now I'm being a teen, and what's in front of me is a whole life that I don't have idea about. So that's kind of what we wanted to portray, as well as, being okay with the things that are sucky. It's okay,
Yeah.
But if we go forward and stand up,
Yeah. Well, I mean, one of the things that really stood out was the positivity of Misfortune in the face of this ominous Mr. Voice. Henrik, I would love to know, how did you become Mr. Voice? What is your origin story?
Well, to begin with, Natalia called me. It's funny because I helped her out as a voice with her. It was her exam, right? You went to an animation
Yes, I was at animation school, and then
Cool.
Henrik
And
helped
for the
me
final film.
without. Yeah, I didn't need to pay him anything. He was so kind to just, lend me
Well,
his voice to a voiceover in my animation.
yeah.
So yeah.
So the contact was established, and you paid me later on. So thank you. Well, then we were speaking about who is this character, and I think it was quite obvious from the outset that on the surface he's a very polished guy, but what lurks behind all this genteel kind of appearance? And but we also were discussing before you went on air. Spoiler alerts. So I am not sure, but anyway, there's two sides to Mr. Voice. Let's say like that.
Yes.
And I think I just, well, we were working, we were talking and working, and it just sort of evolved into this character. It was a good script.
Yes, and also Henrik is also a father, so I thought it would be like he would understand this role, of guiding this girl on this game, So yeah.
And I find
And
it
it
very
was so fun to
intelligible.
work with Henrik also. He's like very, very cool actor. You have seen him? You have heard him?
And it's it's an intelligible game. It's because I'm not a gamer.
Yeah.
Quite frankly,
Henrik, that's a thing we need to fix.
Yeah.
Maybe start with Little Misfortune.
I should play Misfortune. I've seen others do it, but I haven't really ventured myself. Anyway, no, but it's intelligent, and that sort of gets me going. I really like how it's constructed and all the layers.
Sure.
Yeah.
Did you, Henrik, get a full script all in one go, or is this something the two of you worked on kind of scene by scene, stayed in touch over the progress of the game? Or Natalia, did you have a complete game and then you were like, it's time to add some voices?
At the beginning, we were like talking about the character itself. We kind of made some readings, and going with the characters back and forth. But yeah, it was kind of already done, I think. We just rented a place to record everything, and that's it. We spent like 2 weeks or something, 1 week or something, just recording every day. So it was very fun. But yeah, we had, like I said, some days before that, so rehearsals and stuff like that. Yes.
But it was already rather scripted when I entered the scene, so to say.
Yeah, I remember when we did these readings that some words will be like better for you, like suited you better, stuff like that. So we were like going back and forth with the feedback and stuff like that. But yeah, it was a long time ago, Details have gone lost, I guess. But yeah, it was an experience.
I have a question from Matilda_8 who asks, how did you come up with the characters and their key traits, like their expressions? They're all very expressive in their voice. Like Mr. Voice has so many different layers, and also Little Misfortune has many different parts of her personality. And they also said that both of your acting was amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Will you?
Shall I go?
Would you? Yeah, start.
Shall you go?
You should go.
Yeah, I think it took a long time to write this script. We had 42 or 44 versions of it, and we were like very, very, working line by line. What's this line? Is it going to tell what we really want to tell, or is just a lot of words? So we were like cutting down until we just come up with this very kind of light going thing, that went from one reaction to the other, and the questions and the answers and all that. So it took a while. It took it took a lot of work with my husband. So yeah, that's how you get the idea. You get like an initial idea, but that idea, it always kind of evolves to something completely different with the time. So yeah, just put a lot of work if you're into like a narrative, because your character's going to mature. The more you go into them, the more you ask them, who are you? What are you? What's your likes? What's your the things you don't like? What's the things that make you scared? And all those questions can give you this more complex character. But it's not born, from one idea just like that. So yes, that's how it works.
Yes, I think Natalia said it all actually. But I could add that being the narrator, sort of, there's already a drive in that you're telling the story, and you're taking, in a way, the player by the hand, leading him or her into despair. No, but sort of. So you're the motor in a way, and then or the various alternatives then triggers, of course, a reaction in the person being in the game, being the player. So of course, Little Misfortune is that subject being the player.
Yes.
One thing that really also stood out to me was, as the two voices of this game, Misfortune and Mr. Voice, you both made such strong choices, and the characters have really stayed with me. It's like since we've played the game, I've been thinking about all the different nuances that you each brought to the character to make them so unique and standing out on their own. So I'm curious, how did you discover the voices for Mr. Voice and Misfortune? Because they're so special. You did such a wonderful job.
You're so kind, Amanda.
How do you find your voice, Natalia? It amazes me. How do you manage to sound like you sound?
I don't know. I just have it in me,
Yikes
forever. Yeah, but it was like this actually. I didn't want to do the voice the voice for this character, because I've been acting since I was 5 years old, and I love acting. I love theater. I love this thing of getting into a characters, and just it's amazing. But I just wanted to concentrate into making the game, But with my husband, we started to read the script every day, and then I couldn't just not start playing with the voice, So he was like, no, I need to hire you. So my husband hired me. He was like, no, you have to do this role. And I was like, okay, yes, I can do that. And yeah, but I've been like playing with voices a long time. So it felt very cool, to just evolve. And then with Mr. Voice, we also had like these readings with my husband a lot. And there were certain things that we really wanted to have, like these tones in the voice, like, that he's thinking about something else, but as you play the game once, you cannot really tell. But if you kind of play it again, you will know that he's like thinking of something else. And I think Henrik made an amazing job, just getting that in between the lines. It's so yummy. Right?
Yeah,
Yes.
Definitely of this like smooth, very welcoming, but also at the same time ominous quality to your performance, Henrik, that I thought was very intriguing, because it had so many different layers to it. Both of you were just
like I wanted to trust Mr. Voice, but as I was wanting to trust him, I was like going against my own instincts. I don't know how you pulled that off, but there's something going on there, man. It's had you done a narrator voice before? Had you done a video games, or like what was your experience before this?
Not a narrator voice in that sense, perhaps. I did a few, early on when it still was called CD-ROM or something. Can you recall even when you put in a disc in your computer?
CDs.
CDs, yes.
The 90s.
I did a few characters there. Then I've been narrator in another sense. You do information for a company, or you do a commercial that is more like infomercial, and telling. Of course, I've done a lot of books. I've been, in that sense, you're the narrator for 400 pages. I've done a lot. I've done a lot of audiobooks, and I've also done books for children, which I love, actually, because you're telling the tale.
Yeah,
So
Mr. Voice. Okay.
Perhaps I was preparing for this all the time, and then I guess I slipped into a sort of a British polished way of doing it, because it's fun when it's on one side is rather amiable, likable, and then you sort of sense that, okay, there's a dark undercurrent here. Yeah.
Everyone is very excited about your kitty. Would you please introduce your kitty to everyone, Natalia?
Okay. If there's anybody out there that have played Frambo, they will know that Mr. Midnight is inspired by this kitty. But yeah, that's Baloo. Hey, Baloo, say hello.
Hello, Baloo.
He's shy now.
I love cats.
Yes.
We have
You have Theo, right?
Yes.
I was checking on you.
Yeah, Theodore. UK fangirl Jade has a question saying, hello there, Natalia and Henrik. You both did an incredible job. I would like to know what has been the most memorable thing that you have taken away from Little Misfortune.
You want to go first, Henrik?
No, you go first. You're the creator.
Okay. About Little Misfortune, the whole thing for me had different, kind of parts, because I'm also the developer, and also I got to act on this. And for me, as the developer, was like incredible, because our first game, we were making it like Little Misfortune is our second game, and our first game was made out of almost zero budget. We were like nobody nowhere, and Frambo gave us the resources to actually be able to work a little bit more, into the technical part, and making very cute cutscenes, and even having the voices. It was like a huge step up for us as game developers. So it felt like a dream come true, like, oh, this is so cool to make. And also when it came to the emotional part of the story, to be able to just release so much of your own traumas and stuff that had happened has been very lifting, like just let it go. And then to receive so much from the fans, that they feel somehow that they could connect somehow with the story. It's so just it's a dream. And but yeah, like these things of being in the recording studio with Henrik was like, oh my god, we are here, we are being cool. So it was like many steps that I just could dream about back then. So it's a huge thing for me, like my whole life. So yeah,
so
that's
inspiring.
it.
Yeah, mission successful.
I know. Like...
Follow that, Henrik.
Henrik, your turn.
Actually working with Natalia and Isaac is just lovely. I'd love to continue that cooperation. They're such a sweet couple, and so intelligent in what they're doing. Then bring it from the game. Well, the reactions, I've been overwhelmed by people actually telling me that they've been affected, that they like what I've done and what we've done, and so I'm very grateful for that. And voices are coming in, messages from all over the world, so that's quite amazing, actually.
That's super amazing. It's actually one of my favorite things to do on stream is to go, hey, where's everybody tuning in from? And then 4 seconds later, we'll see a wonderful list of everybody, tuning in from around the world. And the fact that we're all together in the same digital space, or even if they played the game separately, they have a shared experience in France and Scotland and
England
Belarus.
And Arizona, Italy, Germany,
Spain,
Russia,
Florida.
That's wonderful.
Right?
Denmark,
New Zealand. I mean, we could just keep going.
the Philippines,
the UK, Russia, Plevit,
Austria, Hungary, Venezuela,
Estonia,
Netherlands,
Saudi
Finland.
Arabia.
Right.
That's cool. And I mean, people are getting to check out your game around the world. Did you have any kind of anticipation, Natalia, because you had released Friendbow, which we have yet to play and is definitely a strongly recommended game. Did you have some anticipation of what it would be like when you released your first video game? Like, did you think maybe this would be played by people like nearby, or did you have any idea the kind of reach or the scope of how big the gaming community was?
I mean, dreams go wild. I just want to be the best game developer in the whole world.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, now at the beginning, it's like, I just want to be able to pay the rent. Okay, that's it.
Right.
When you realize that, okay, I'm there, and we didn't need to go back to live at our mom's, and we're doing games. It's like a whole too great to be true, But dreams go everywhere, but it's so sometimes when things happen for real, I couldn't even dream about this, Just meeting you two guys is like, what the
I feel the same. I'm like
fun.
Totally fangirling. Just like so stoked.
And I've been playing both games, Cyberpunk and Become Human, Detroit, and it was like, yeah, very cool. Like you take it as part of the game, but then you realize, oh, is this person playing our game? Okay, that feels very cool.
Yeah, I think Twitch is super cool like that, because when Detroit first came out, which was our first experience getting interaction with Twitch and so on, was that if you do a play or you're in a theater, you can experience the audience's reaction to what's happening on stage in real time. But if you do film or television, or you've recorded an audiobook, they have their own experience separate from you, and so you're kind of devoid of that audience feedback. But in gaming and with Twitch or streaming, we were able to like sit in and just watch people experience it organically on their own in real time. So I like the general thought that we can just throw out to people, that if they're playing Little Misfortune, they'll never know if Henrik is just in their chat guiding them. Exactly.
I've seen this question asked a couple times, but do you have any specific lines of dialogue from the game that were your favorite or really stood out to you?
That's tricky.
Yeah, pop quiz.
Do you have
so many? You can start, Henrik, or you feel it?
I'm just thinking about your lines. A little sparkle here and a little sparkle there.
Yeah, it's kind of, I use every day, I'm a little lady. So that's kind of, every time something feels like I could have done it a little bit better, and it's like, okay, you can do better, Natalia. I'm like, oh, I'm a little lady, like excusing myself.
I love that.
The puke of love, I love that. The puke of love, that's what it is.
I see there's a lot of love in the chat for Yikes Forever.
Yikes Forever.
Is there an origin?
Oh, that's a good one.
Where did you, is that just a phrase you came up with, or do you say that in your real life just going around?
No, it was mostly like, okay, yikes was like, all right, I have yikes, but what will make it even more yikes is like a yikes forever, right? Forever the yikes. And that kind of evolved. The lines were totally different at the beginning. I don't remember how it was at the beginning, but it wasn't like just yikes forever. It was a lot longer. So yeah. It was edited.
Yikes forever in perpetuity until the contract expires. I have to renegotiate it after 3 years. Yikes.
Yikes forever. Yes.
Throughout the universe.
Yeah.
Yes. Exactly. What's your favorite line, Amelia and Ryan?
I think definitely I'm a little lady. I've just been saying that like over and over. But like honestly, Misfortune, I loved and really connected to how positive she was in the face of so much darkness, and the throwing of the sparkles on top of like the dead animals just really was really inspiring to me, because we talk a lot about playing the positive, that in the face of harsh situations or in the face of feeling down on ourselves, how important it is to find the silver lining and to focus on how to find the positive. And I felt like this game did such a really beautiful job of embodying that, because Misfortune, no matter what she's like, if she's underground in this cave of stripper hamsters, which was so funny.
Yeah, which is a whole conversation on its own. We need to discuss.
Yeah. She's still looking for the win state, and I dance.
That's very important.
Right?
To dance.
Very important to dance.
Yeah. So I think the I'm a little lady just kind of encapsulates that whole energy of I'm gonna the positive spin on it because I'm a lady.
Yeah. Real quick, I want to shout out to Stephanie Swan Quills, who's rating our channel right now.
Hello, thank you so much.
They're bringing all their viewers over here to join us. So thank you, Stephanie, for doing that. Come on in, everybody.
We are here with the creator and voices behind the game Little Misfortune, Natalia Martinsson, who is the CEO and creative director of Killmonday Games and the voice of Misfortune, and Henrik Norman plays Mr. Voice.
Yes. And also you can check him out, !Misfortune and !Mr. Voice in the chat if you want to find him on social media or send him a message on your own.
Yes.
Or, collaborate with these incredible people, because I know we've got some game developers in the community and people that would love to, connect the dots. So thank you again for your time being here with us. We have some more questions from the community, and if you guys are watching right now and want to ask a question of either of our guests, you can tag @Dechart Games in the chat, and our moderator will pull those questions to us so that we have a little cue cards here. So Amelia's got the next question coming right up.
Yes. Okay. So this question is from the Dogder who asks, I love the animation of this game and the style. Is there anything in particular that inspired the art style for you?
Yes. Two things. Children's drawings and Sweden, kind of. Yeah, I mean, I really wanted just to get this kind of colors from the autumn as well, like this time where everything just start to die out, and I mean, in Sweden we have like this where I moved, it's like super open fields, yeah. It comes from there, but it's like you can stand somewhere and just see nothing but just the horizon, and it's so beautiful, and that was like the biggest inspiration for me. And then I don't know if you're like super picky and go super zoom in, but we painted all the game like with a hand drawn feeling, so it will give this like a little bit childish feeling to it. Yes, and everything was done by me and Jessica, that is my super soulmate in the arts, Killmonday Rebel.
Oh my God.
Two people animated this whole game.
No, we made the art for the game.
I
made the animations for the whole game. Wow. And Anton helped us with a little bit of effects, and then but I didn't animate the cinematics. Those were made by a company that called Little Sister, which also recorded the voices with Henrik and I. And actually, the guy that is from this company, he was my school friend from when we were like learning how to animate. So it's like we really wanted to work together for a long time, and this was like a perfect situation. So yes, it's a lot of co-working there. So fun.
So cool. So this question's been asked by a bunch of people, including Kriyu Gostu, who asks, what can we see? What can we see next? What is coming up next for the both of you, Natalia and Henrik? What do you got in store?
You want to tell Henrik?
Oh, game-wise, nothing really until you've come up with your next game, hopefully. I shot a feature in Sweden this spring. So, but it will, if it will reach, international screens, I'm not sure. But anyway, I think it's going to be a very good.
What's it called?
Film. It's a very Swedish title. It's called. I would say it's going to be called The Experiment. It's called Vipeholms Experimenten. It's actually a rather horrendous thing taking place in an asylum or a mental hospital in the 50s and 60s, where they were experimenting on actually patients and teeth health. So they were were given sweets and what have you to cause caries, you call it
cavities, yeah.
Yeah.
So and I was of course the bad guy. Not really, but I was in charge of the hospital. So but I was actually sort of squeezed between the authorities in Stockholm, the government, and my patients and their well-being. So it was, but it's based on a true story.
Wow.
So, but and now I'm heavily involved. Tomorrow morning early, I'm leaving for Dalarna, a bit to the north of where Natalia is living.
Yes, you're gonna be close to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna be close to you. I'm gonna play my grandmother's father. It's actually more of it's a documentary. But there's a very big skiing competition in Sweden called Vasaloppet, which might be the world's biggest actually, with like 18,000 people starting on the actual race. And it was my grandmother's father who invented it all. So and it's the 100th anniversary next year.
Wow.
So I'm shooting this documentary, and I'm gonna slip into his shoes, and also I'm gonna do the race. It's like, well, I have to give you the Swedish kilometers. It's 89 kilometers. You will have to translate that into miles, I guess.
We have the technology.
That's so cool. Everybody's very excited for you. There's someone who says "Yikes" forever. Otherwise,
it's going to be a hell of a ride.
Oh my god!
Did you say 89 kilometers?
89 kilometers.
Wow, that is for our U.S. friends 55 miles. That's intense.
Yeah. That is.
It's a lot of skiing.
Yeah.
That's a lot of cross-country skiing for you. Yes, definitely.
Do you ski yourself? Is that something that's in your family?
I'm a rather good downhill skier. When it comes to cross country, I'm not that skilled, but I'm actually going to train now in the beginning of next week with one of the victor. I think it was in the 90s actually. He won the competition.
Whoa.
So yeah.
Have fun with that.
Gonna teach me some technique. It's all about technique.
I hear the first 55 miles are the hardest. So
yeah.
by the end, you'll be no problem.
Wow.
Natalia, do you ski too, or do you have some other like creative things you like to do besides animation and drawing and making games?
Yes, I mean, I like to do like fashion stuff, like fashion, my earrings and stuff.
Cool.
Like
I see.
Stony.
It's a stony earring.
Well, this one was made by my cousin, but I kind of designed it, And this stuff, like little cutie. Yeah, that's kind of my thing. But no, I cannot ski. I'm afraid of it. You know, in Sweden, you kind of maybe you also have experiences, but when it's very cold, I have fall flat on my face too many times, so I'm scared of the ice. It hurts.
Valid.
Well, if you ever feel like a trip to Southern California, you're welcome here to thaw out anytime.
Yes, that would be really
That will
cool.
be nice, thank you. I'm gonna take this invitation in the future, don't you worry.
Oh, please do.
Yeah, sometime in the middle of February, you'll remember that.
Yeah.
Natalia, anything coming up for Killmonday games that you can share with?
Yes, we are working on our third game, and where Benjamin the Fox will be the main character. So
Cool.
we're gonna be seeing the story that we didn't get to see from him because we saw very little of him and very confusing stuff, I guess. So it's super amazing, and it's our first game that we're doing in 3D as well. So it has been taking us a lot of time to just learn, all the techniques and all stuff. But yeah, we have been also getting help in the team. Now we are like 12 people, and it's like, oh my god, it's so cool. But yeah, at the beginning was like, what are we doing? And now we're like, yes, we know what we're doing. Yeah, it feels very cool.
How long has it been in production for that game? I mean, I know that making a video game can take a very long time.
Yeah, we have been working on it 2 years already. But, if we count in the time that it has been taking also to learn how to make 3D and all that. So it's like, it feels like now we're getting kind of the story complete and stuff like that. But I think it's gonna take a while still. So don't get too excited yet. All right?
They're excited. I mean, the chat says hype, 3D Benjamin, hype, so excited. Yeah, no, they'll stay excited. You guys will be around when this game comes out in a year or change.
Who knows? We need a lot of voices. Oh.
Henrik, start auditioning. Everyone, audition.
Yeah, we're gonna be. I would love to do an open casting when we have like all the characters ready to go.
Cool.
But I'm already kind of looking for some of them because they need to be kind of speaked quite soon. But at least 2 of them are already in the game. So yeah, we'll see what happens in the future. But yeah, I would love to hear Amelia and Brian.
Oh my gosh!
Who knows?
I'm just a little lady.
Everyone is so excited right now. You have their minds blown. This is an interesting question. Vulpix Koki asks, if you could take a childhood toy of yours on a magical adventure and it could come to life and become your adventure buddy, what would you choose? What toy would you choose?
Wow, good question.
That's so cute. I can answer right away.
Yeah.
I had this very long, fluffy dog when I was a little girl, and it was kind of ugly in the face, like a little bit weird, but I love him so much, and he had like these fluffy ears, and yeah, he was so cool.
What was his name?
Somehow. Yeah.
What was his name?
It didn't have a name. Amelia didn't have a name.
No. He didn't want a name.
No, he didn't need a name. He was beyond names.
He just got all the love from me, all right?
What about you, Henrik? What childhood toy would you take on an adventure?
Actually, I when I was a kid, I had it was a rabbit, a stuffed, not a real stuffed rabbit, but it was standing up with ears like this, so it was a bit. It was rather human in its stature. It was called Charlie. I got lots of them. My grandmother. She was sewing them. I had 7 or 8 versions, and various patterns, but this was the original. So it was Charlie, and he was with me all the time. Actually, he was traveling more or less around the world. At least if we were going somewhere, he would accompany us. So he was, to me, I think he was alive already.
Yeah.
So I still bring him along, I guess.
Oh, I love it.
I love that too.
You guys, Brian and Natalia,
I think, can I make a guess?
Yeah.
I'm going to step aside and I'll reappear with them.
Oh, you probably know. He knows me so well.
That's a goal.
Yeah. Yeah, you know me. Okay, as a child, I was obsessed with My Little Ponies, and this one, Firefly, was my favorite. So Firefly definitely would have come to life, and being able to fly, she would have taken me on some really epic adventures. Yeah.
On actual family trips, my parents eventually got me a set of headphones to go with it, because I think playing with it without headphones was obnoxious in long car trips. But I had this guy. His name is 2XL. And he is 2XL. He's honestly, he's a prototype probably for my point of view about Connor, the android sent by CyberLife. But he's controlled by a VHS tape. Or not a VHS, I'm sorry, a cassette tape.
Oh.
You know, you brought up CDs, so even before compact discs, we had these guys.
Yes.
And it's his story maker on the disc, or on the cassette, and the way it works is you answer questions saying yes, no, true, or false, and then it fast forwards or rewinds to different parts of the tape saying the next part of the story. So it's a little bit like a choose your own adventure game or a book, but it's a audio form. So
wow.
I think it's interesting how these things stick with us, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm curious for everybody here joining in the chat, if you feel like sharing it, go ahead and let us know who was your childhood toy that stuck with you and is part of your story.
We also have a lot of very talented, creative people in our community, and I'm sure that they would love to know if either of you have any tips or advice for people who want to get into acting or making their own games. What advice can you offer them? Henrik, would you like to go first?
Well, I guess I could only, answer from an actor's point of view, and at least for me, it's times they are changing, but it was always the theater. I started, on a stage, and but nowadays, I mean, you could bring you could make a movie with your iPhone. So I guess just do it. If you got an idea, don't wait for somebody else to realize that dream of yours. I produced a short. Now it's a couple of years ago. That was, of course, with more professional equipment, but we just did it. We didn't wait for money. We raised the money ourselves. We shot it, and it's been, participating in more than 50 festivals.
Nice.
Wow, good work.
Wow.
Around the globe.
What is
So,
it? Is it
I
something we can find online?
It's still on that festival circuit.
Cool.
So, but you could find it on various platforms. But then you would have to pay a little. It's not. We haven't released it completely.
Okay.
But I think that's important to, you might apply for jobs, but if you got an idea, try to just, in one way or another, do it.
Yeah.
You got that? Everybody can take a clip of that. You have Mr. Voice himself saying, do it.
Just do it.
That's a good direction, because sometimes it takes. I mean, Amelia and I have been discussing ideas and projects and things, and we are kind of, honestly, Natalia, your message to Amelia got us very excited, because we've been on the edge of some ideas, and then to see what you and your husband have done together from like a very grassroots place and building up from there, and then the next game, and you're going on to making your third project. It's incredibly inspiring to us, because the idea of what is the pipeline for a video game compared to making a independent film. There's a lot of people involved and a lot of moving pieces and things to understand and things to learn. So we really look up to you guys in making a game and making multiple games and doing it with so few people is really inspiring, because it makes us feel like, oh, we might know enough people to pull this off.
We can do it. We can do it. Yes. Yeah, I understand. And that what Henry says is just go and do the things, because we have so much fantasy. We all have it, right? We have so many ideas, so many dreams, but we are taught in this society to just wait for the right place, wait for the right resources, and all that will just kill your dream. I can tell you, when we did our first game, we had like the computers were like crap, and the screens that we had, they were bought at a second-hand boutique. They weren't even like super pro or anything. And my Wacom to draw the whole thing had a hole in the middle because it was so worn off.
Oh,
and I
wow.
didn't even have a chair to sit properly. So I put a pillow on it with tape around so I could like put my hand on. So don't wait for the things to be perfect, because there's nothing that is perfect. And you have to go with, the thing that is important is the project, the idea, the vision, not how you do it or what tools you use to do it. Just get out there with your dream. And also I will recommend to read a lot, to exercise a lot, and meet up with people that is better than you, because then you will learn a lot if you're curious, of course, and you leave your ego a little bit aside and say, okay,
Right.
I need to listen to this person now because it has so much more experience than I do. So yeah, that's my advice, I guess.
That's incredible advice.
Yeah.
I think that I see a lot of people on the stream saying the same thing, and thank you for it. I want to be conscious of the time because I know it's very late, and Henrik has to go play his mother's father and travel
ski.
first thing in the morning.
Yep.
Thank you guys so much for being here and for spending your time with us, and a shout out to everybody who joined us for the stream. We will continue streaming on the other side of our normal hydration break, and if you want to get in touch with these folks, Oh, who is this?
It's Mr. Red the Puppet. I just come here to say bye-bye to you. Thank you for having us Killmonday games.
Of course, absolutely. We love you, little guy.
Nice to meet
Can we give you a little
Mr. Red the puppet, Mr. Red. Okay, Mr. Red, go to bed. You're always getting in the way,
Oh my god, you're so adorable. Okay, so please, everybody, be sure to give Natalia and Henrik a follow on all of the social medias. Check them out! !Misfortune, !Natalia, and !Mr. Voice will get you all of the links to go and follow them and keep you up to date with everything awesome that's going on with them. Thank you both so much for taking the time. You are both incredibly inspiring, and we're very excited to see what's going to come next from your minds, because I'm just so tired.
Thank you so much, both of you. And thank you for being so, onto this, like on the go, because it was like very quick, everything happened. So yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. You're so kind, both of you. Super cute.
Yes.
Likewise.
A true pleasure. Thank you.
Cool, you guys. Take care and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Bye.
You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, I'm so happy to have them join us.
Oh my gosh.
What an incredible way to celebrate playing through Little Misfortune.